You don't just celebrate Pride because you're gay. You celebrate Pride because you're black. After participating in the Motor City Pride Parade and attending the festival, I can honestly say that I'm a bit shocked that I didn't see more participation from the black gay population. Considering, that the only reason we even have pride parades and festivals today is because of black folks. But maybe y'all didn't know that. So let's talk about the black history behind Pride. Because Pride didn't start as a parade. Pride started as a protest. Why is that? Every June, Pride Month honors the 1969 Stonewall Uprising in New York City, where LGBTQ folks fought against police raids, harassment, and criminalization. And just like most freedom movements in America, black folks were right at the center of it. One of the most remembered figures was Marsha P. Johnson, a black queer activist who became a symbol of resistance after Stonewall. Alongside Sylvia Rivera, she helped create STAR, Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, which provided support and housing to black, queer, and trans youth when the rest of society had forgot about them. And then there's Storm DeLavier, a black biracial butch lesbian, drag king, performer, and protector of queer people in Greenwich Village. Some believe her resistance during the police raid helped ignite the uprising. Whether or not she started Stonewall, her legacy reminds us that black queer folks were not side characters in this movement. They were protectors, strategists, and freedom fighters. But the impact didn't stop there. Black LGBTQ activists helped organize some of the earliest pride marches after Stonewall. They also continued to help build networks of care during the HIV/AIDS crisis, when governments and institutions largely ignored the suffering of queer communities. Which was so interesting, considering that the HIV epidemic started in the white gay community. Nonetheless, leaders, advocates, artists, and everyday people came together to educate, organize, raise money, and save lives. Long before Stonewall, black LGBTQ people were already pushing against systems that were created to erase them. During the Harlem Renaissance of the 1920s and the 1930s, artists like Langston Hughes and Gladys Bentley created spaces where black queer expression could exist, even when society refused to acknowledge it. Their work challenged ideas around race, gender, and sexuality decades before the pride flag was even a thing. By the 1960s, black activists were helping shape the broader fight for civil rights and liberation. Many of the organizing tactics used in the LGBTQ movement were heavily influenced by those of the black liberation struggle, from marches and direct action to community organizing and mutual aid. Black queer people often stood at multiple intersections in the fight for justice, confronting racism within the LGBTQ spaces and then having to confront homophobia within the racial justice movement. Before Pride was even official, black gay civil rights leader Bayard Rustin was organizing the 1963 March on Washington, helping shape some of the same protest strategies that inspired movements for decades. Despite being discriminated against because he was openly gay, Rustin remained one of the most influential architects of nonviolent protests in American history. So when people try to turn pride into this rainbow merch or corporate slogans, remind them that pride is protest history. Pride is black history. Pride is the history of people who refuse to be silent, who refuse to be erased, and who refuse to let the police, the government, or society tell them who they were allowed to be. So, no,